Hey everybody! It is a very early morning, and y'all, today is the day. We have been putting off this project for quite some time. I actually just went back to check a video regarding our cedar trees when we first learned what was killing them. Y'all, that video was back in 2020. So it started before 2020, but we didn't learn exactly what was going on until 2020. So fast forward 5 years later, the situation is even worse. We have finally decided the cedar trees have to go because the ones that are left, it's 7 that are left. The majority of them look terrible. Of the 7, there's 5 that's behind the fence, still along the fence line, and there are 2 that are outside of the fence or on the front side that you can see really good from the street. When I tell you they look terrible, so it's just to a point now that it makes our yard look terrible. So baby, they've got to go. They've got to go. So we finally pulled the trigger. My husband and I were talking about um, we talked about us cutting the trees. And then I decided to look into a company cutting the trees because you guys, my husband works so hard, so hard. He's doing overtime now, and we really don't have the resources in all of the equipment that we would need to. We have a pole saw, but just everything that we would need trying to after we cut the trees, trying to get them to the street, and then cutting them up because in order for the city to pick them up, they have to be cut a certain length, and just absolutely too much. So we talked about having someone come and cut the trees. My husband was all on board for that. What he doesn't realize is that after that conversation, I went on and scheduled it. And like when we talk about things and I know what he wants to do, I like to schedule it, get it done, and then it be a surprise to him. So he has no idea that the tree company is scheduled to be here this morning to get rid of all the trees. Now, y'all, he is so oblivious to stuff. When you come up our street, you can see all of the trees. I do not expect for him to realize that all of the trees that were remaining are gone. Okay? So, when the tree company gets here, I'm going to take you guys out so we can kind of see exactly how they do this. But I'm so excited to get it done. Another thing that's also been, we've been a little hesitant about because the little bit of privacy that we do have, we have some privacy, thank the Lord, because of our privacy wall that my husband did. Was it last year or year before last? But once the rest of those trees are gone, the entire backyard is just totally wide open. Yeah, so that's the part that's very concerning to me because it's almost like we feel naked when we go in the backyard because all of the trees, although they were dead and looking mighty bad, it still kind of gave me a little bit of privacy when I was in between the pergola and the what's the other one called? What's the other one called? Whatever the other one is called. You guys, I have drawn a blank. The gazebo and the pergola. Okay. So there will be no privacy. So we're gonna go out there. I'm gonna definitely let you. We're getting ready to go out so you can see a before and see what everything looks like. And it's just gonna be interesting to see what we do once they're gone. Because my husband has also used that area like behind the trees because it where the trees were, it was just kind of a little slope that went down. Baby, he would take extra brush and limbs and stuff that he's cut and kind of, he would put it back there behind those trees and you couldn't see them. Honey, they getting ready to pull them trees up today. So you're going to see all that stuff that he's thrown back there. All of that yard waste um, that he has put back there. So oh my goodness, this is really happening. But I'm excited. I'm excited. You'll also notice when I go back there, I talked about again starting a garden. So we've already put down some cardboards where we're creating our sheet mulch. And I'll probably say this again when I get outside. But we're creating our sheet mulch. Put that down, and I'm kind of marking off the area and killing the grass where I want to start my flower garden. So that's just kind of phase one because I don't know what I want to do. I said I can at least get that down. Plus all these boxes and stuff that we have that we can use in the backyard. So and then they'll eventually what am I trying to say? Well, they kind of, what is it? I don't want to say disappear, but you know they break down. I think that maybe what they'll break down into the soil and everything. So you'll see that out there. But any moment, I'm waiting on the truck. The truck. Yeah, it's gonna be a truck, all right. But the tree company to arrive so we can get this done. Now, afterwards, whenever my dude number one comes home, my plan is to set up a camera outside. Because if he doesn't notice when he passes the backyard, I'll know because either he's gonna park and go right over there, or he's gonna come in the house and be like, "Babe, you got the trees cut." But in any event, I really don't expect him to notice. So we're gonna see. And if he doesn't, I'm gonna set a camera up and get his first reaction when he comes or when he goes outside, or either just have the camera in my hand. I don't know. But in any event, we'll just see. But I'm excited to get this done because that means that there's another project on the horizon for us to, just do something in the backyard. I guess you can tell in the meantime, let me see it, y'all. I've been talking about 8 minutes. In the meantime, I am enjoying my front porch. Y'all hear that water? So tranquil. So here are the trees. And like I said, they progressively gotten worse every year. Let me show you these two outside the gate. These two look terrible, and you can see the little things hanging from the top. Those are the bagworms that are just kind of hanging down. Okay, but they look awful. They look awful. And then going back in. Yes, you guys, it's time for the dude number one to cut the grass again. The boxes that are here, I've talked about starting my flower garden. So those are the boxes that we've put down to do the sheet mulching. So that's why they are there. But these trees used to be down the entire fence line, and we've just lost them one by one, two by two for several years now. For those of you that have been here, let me know if you've been here this long. We went on a field trip to, it was Reynolda Gardens, and they were having a sale on shrubs and flowers and trees. We purchased these 2 trees and planted them years ago. If you've been here that long, let me know that you remember that field trip down in the comments, okay? So, this is the before. And look way down there at the very top of the trees. See, they look terrible. And it's just definitely past due. So we have rocks here in this bucket. When I got those rocks up, I still have a few more to get up, y'all. I've just not done that yet, but we got the majority of the ones up. And I've just been so kind of discouraged and bummed about my patio area, and then these trees. And you know, with the trees, they're just gonna take, once we take them down, it's just gonna take the little bit of privacy that we do have. I'm so thankful for our privacy wall here. That definitely helps, but it's time. It's time. The tree company has arrived, and they aren't playing any games, honey. Y'all, they are enjoying the apple tree. They have been tearing these apples up. There was a couple of dead limbs on the apple tree that they're cutting off too, and some of the good limbs that are hanging over the patio. And then they can enjoy all those apples. Take all those good, take the good apples. Yes. Bless. Take all the good apples off and eat them. I just want to give a shout out to this amazing company, y'all. They did not come to play. God's Way Tree Service LLC. And when I tell y'all they're enjoying these apples. Do y'all need some more bags? Do y'all need some bags for the apples?
No,
Okay.
Yeah, you better
Let me go get some more bags.
Thank you.
All right, the trees are gone. This is the after. And I tell you, they were in and out. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Y'all, they upset the bees on the apple tree. So this is the aftermath. All of the trees are gone. So now me and dude number one, we've got some work to do. All right, you guys, it is time for dude number one to get home. I decided to sit on the porch and wait for him to pull up, because if he notices the trees are gone, when he gets out of the truck, he's gonna say something. And when he gets out, and he usually parks on the street area, when he gets out and comes up the driveway, he will see the outside of the fence where the first two trees were. So let's see if he says anything when he comes up the driveway. If he doesn't say anything, he didn't notice. I'm gonna let him go on in the house, do what he normally does to get situated when he gets in from work. And then later on, we'll go outside and then see what he has to say. But let's just see. What y'all think? Y'all think he gonna notice? I don't think he will, unless for some reason he just happens to be looking over that way today. But I don't expect it. But time will tell. So as soon as I see him pulling up, I'm going to turn the camera back on, okay? All right, I'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Okay, I think I hear the truck. He usually stops to check the mailbox. Do I hear him? Yes, I hear him. Okay, yeah, let's see if he realizes it. He didn't stop to check the mailbox. I guess he's gonna check it when he gets out. I see him down there. Or maybe he did stop and check the mailbox. I just didn't realize he did. Bless his heart. Okay, he ain't noticed as of yet. Let's see. Hey, baby. You dragging? You tired?
Hold tight, bro.
Y'all look at him.
Hold tight, bro.
You so tired. Did you have a good day?
Terrible.
A terrible day. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Look.
Just want to get in the shower.
You just want to get in the shower.
Hey, baby.
Everybody.
Dog tired, boss.
Dog.
Dog tired.
I'm sorry you tired, babe.
It's the humidity, though.
I know, babe. I know.
This is.
Bless your heart.
This is that Mississippi.
I'll talk to y'all in a second. Y'all, I told y'all he didn't even notice. So we're going to go outside in just a little bit, and then I'll get his reaction. Yeah. I said we need to try.
Oh Lord.
You didn't even notice when you pulled up, babe. You did.
This looks so bald headed.
Don't, I said naked, don't it? Doesn't it, babe? Wow. You didn't notice it at all when you pulled up, did you?
You know what? Who
Listen.
came and took this out?
God's Way Tree Service.
How was it?
Wait till you see the footage. Listen, God's Way did not come to play.
Wow. Man,
Don't open the gate. Do you want to open the gate?
that's crazy. This looks so.
Don't it look fun? It look like you say, Paul. It look. I feel naked back
I feel
here.
like this shit
You feel like what?
the fence need to be taller or something.
I know.
This is crazy. Oh no. I want my trees back.
You want your trees back, baby? They look terrible.
It's gonna make me do some landscaping.
I know, right? That's exactly what I said. We gonna have to do some work, baby.
Man, we're gonna have to do some work.
We got, we
Right?
got to do some work. That's exactly what I said, y'all. We've got our work cut out for us now. Because, baby, us has got to do something. Y'all, I had him grab the recycle basket that I keep in the kitchen and bring that out so he could see it. Y'all, look at him. Doesn't it look funny? It feels funny. It's weird, isn't it?
Weird. Really weird. Okay. Okay. So
Look. It's amazing.
like they're looking at me.
It's it's amazing the difference and how it feels with having the trees.
Poke salad for 'em.
And I cut, oh y'all, my elephant ears kind of struggling. I cut those leaves off.
They high.
I cut those leaves off, so right now we only have it only has 2 on there, just the 2 leaves, and it's just been, you know, kind of struggling. So once they get to drooping, I do remember last year when I had the elephant ear planted over there, they did not get that tall. Those are really tall. They probably up under there.
Why are they growing so big?
I know they're tall.
But what happened? It's almost like
Maybe it's been so hot
yeah,
this
it's like
year.
they just wet.
Even the ones I planted in the front, y'all, they just look weird. Like you say, like something chewing on them or something. So,
Well, it's gotta be something.
babe, another thing too. One of the I can't wait to show you the footage, okay? But one of the guys noticed that there was like a dead limb on our apple tree.
Mm-hmm.
So he wanted to cut it. I'm like, sure. I said, and while you're at it, because when I tell you they were enjoying the apples,
Who was?
all of them,
I don't know who.
the crew.
What?
When they first walked up the hill and realized it was an apple, they started pulling apples. I said, y'all help yourselves. But when he cut that dead limb, I said, while you're at it, you remember those limbs that were hanging over the patio? I said, would you cut those too while you're cutting? And he did.
This looks so weird.
It looks so weird.
Oh, I'm so glad you got that right there.
I know, because listen, if I didn't, I would feel some kind of way. And you guys,
What's the little plant, the worms that ate our tree?
the bagworms, that's what I was getting ready to say. The bagworms. So I'm going to put the video here that I took when we realized it was bagworms. The video that we captured, that was back in, baby, that was back in 2020. And if you remember, you and Steven were out here doing, remember that big umbrella and you was putting that cement in that base? It's still pieces of that cement
Let me get it. I saw it. I hid it. But when they took out the tree, you found it.
But they did, you know, some of your brush that you had back there, they grabbed that stuff too. But it was back in 2020 when we discovered what it was, because even in that video, I think it's either 2 or 3 trees, they were totally bare. All of the greenery was gone, and the bagworms were blending in with the tree. Y'all, I did a close-up, so if you look at the video, if you're creeped out by bugs and stuff, you don't want to look at it. But I put the link for the video, and then I also added again at the end of this. Ooh, see, you're making me itch. Y'all, it's so creepy.
And at that time, we were told, well, I was told, you got to treat the ground because they're gonna kill your trees. And that's when the trees was spry and fluffy and green.
It's amazing that they went down the whole fence line, and I said we lost them 1 by 1 or 2 by 2. Yeah. So these were the last 7 that were left. And you keep our yard manicured so well, and the lawn is so pretty. Those 2 trees, or all of those trees looking so dead, they were just an eyesore. It just looked terrible in our landscape. So we finally decided, you know what, it's time. And I told them we had talked about doing it, but you had no clue. They had already scheduled it. You know, when you brought me the stuff in from the mail yesterday, the tree service, I got tickled when I read it, because I'm like, baby, little do you know, we are scheduled to have these trees removed tomorrow. Stephen,
so when they came they came today?
They came this morning. Listen, they weren't playing.
Well, how long were they here?
Less than an hour.
Huh? All them trees?
Listen, when I tell you that was the best investment, and I know we talked about doing it ourselves, but those trees all the way at the bottom, because I'm thinking, you know, we can just take the pole saw and just cut them at the bottom. They'll fall. We can drag them where we want to. The bottom of those trees, they had different, branches or whatever. It was one guy, baby, he was cutting them 1 by 1. They were falling, and he would move on to the next tree. And then somebody was grabbing, and the first one he cut, it was about that much out of the stump. I said, can you cut it as close as you can to the ground? So, but he went 1 by 1, was getting them trees, and then when I say the crew was grabbing them, money well spent, because you and that was a bigger job than what I realized. Just seeing them do that, and baby, with you working overtime and just being so tired, it just would have been too much, because we would have been all day, if not a couple of days, and we didn't have the resources in that. We had the little pole saw, but we just needed more. And then the fact that they hauled it away, they cleaned everything up. It was money well spent. So,
what was the money that was well spent?
It was. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it, but it didn't even matter because we needed to get it done.
Yeah.
I was more concerned about you not having to do it. I will say this, babe, tree service is not like it used to be. You could get a tree cut down for $500 years ago or less. Baby, you can't get trees cut down for $500 anymore, especially if you're dealing with the oak trees.
Okay, well, what that mean?
In any event, all I know is you gave me the okay. My husband did not have to handle that, and baby, it's handled.
I'm really gonna get out there and manicure that really well.
And it's gonna be easy, because once we get it cleaned out and put my weed fabric down, we can throw some mulch to there and we're good.
Yeah.
So it's not gonna be too bad. And then we'll have to decide if you would rather. It's just too much for me. So when I'm working in the yard, I try to do as much as I can by myself without you, because you work hard enough at work. It's easier for me to handle mulch bags than, you know, we have it delivered in the truck, and then they dump it in the driveway. Me trying to scoop it and put it in a wheelbarrow and roll it. That's too much for me. So that's why I said I get bags. So we can also, we'll definitely put the weed fabric down. We can either do bags, or we can do, because even if we didn't open the bags right now, we can get the bags and just lay them out there. If you wanted to open them later, we could wait till next year or next spring if you wanted to. It's in a little bit. It's getting ready to be fall.
Now I'm really gonna trying to think of. It's just
It's
crazy
exciting
to see it.
to see what we're getting ready to do.
It's almost like
though.
it's forcing you to. Okay, you got to move now. You got to
Yeah,
move.
we definitely have to move in that. We've got to do something with
Yeah.
the landscaping. So
I got you.
if we did bags, we wouldn't even have to open them right now. And I can order those and have them delivered.
How was the bugs? The
How was
bees.
the bugs?
The bees on the apple
Oh,
was it fighting the people?
The bees was flying around, but when I tell you they were excited to get those, I even took them bags out there so they could put apples in bags.
Really?
And one of the little fellas, he stood in the middle of the street with the tree limbs with all the apples, and he wanted them to take a picture so he can send it back to his mom at home with him standing there with the it's in my phone, with him standing there with the limbs. But when I tell you they enjoyed it, they made the bees and stuff a little angry, but they didn't care. They got their apples, and they were happy.
Don't get me an apple. But you're gonna make some. You're gonna cut up some apples and make some apples.
I don't know, baby. The bees
They
have
look
gotten
good.
to a lot of them.
But down, I'm looking at somebody. They look big. Well, those are the pear apples, right?
And that's what I told them. They were so excited. I say, help yourselves to the apples. What you can get that the bees haven't.
Remember when we first started? When we
enjoyed.
first got here, guys, what we had? We had plums.
We had plums.
Those were the biggest plums, and then those whatever got disease got to the tree.
It seemed like it did have some type of disease.
Yeah, so the big plums, they was juicy because Donna went plum crazy. I mean, she made a thing with that too, didn't you?
I did, and I started bagging them up, and I was delivering plums to
She was
people.
delivering plums. So you know, but you made a video with that long ago. But
I
yeah,
think I did. I need
you
to see
did
if I
because
can
you
find
made
that.
plum jelly. You made plum.
I did, and I think I did say something about plum crazy.
Yeah, you went plum.
Oh, I did.
So-
I'm gonna have to look for that. If I find that video, I'll link that at the.
But I was saying it because because when we bought the house, how many trees? It was
I
like
think you pulled up like 25 different fruit trees.
different fruit trees. Yeah. So the people that
We
was
dug
here,
up like 20. It was just too much, and it made the yard look terrible. But
So,
when we closed and we pulled up in front of the house after closing, you got out with a shovel. You didn't even come in the house. You immediately started digging up trees, and some of the neighbors were so grateful because it was too much. It was too much going on in the yard. Too much.
well, we did. We left the pear apple tree, and we had the plum tree. The plum tree was my favorite. Oh, that plum tree was just
But then, you know, when they would fall, they would roll in they had the street looking a mess because when they would fall off the tree, it was kind of on the hill and it would roll down. As a matter of fact, it was planted where the crepe myrtle that I showed you guys the other day that I rehabbed, the plum tree used to be there. So when the plums would fall, you remember they would fall in the street. You would just see them splatter just out where people had rolling.
And that was when they was just
over
they had gotten too big and they was ripe. And the thing that you had the problem with is the bees. There were so many bees like
just
that.
like with the apples.
Yeah, there's so many. So with the fruit, when you have fruit, I guess you have bugs. And we have I don't know if y'all guys call them Junie bugs.
June bugs.
June bugs.
June bugs with the different look, the greenish looking.
Yeah, the
color.
greenish bug, and they sound like a big beetle. Well, I'm not going to tell you what we do. Y'all get mad at us when we was little.
I think you told it in another video. Talking about he put a string. They put a string on a June bug's leg and swirled it around or something like that.
Yeah, they would fly. That's what we did. We was kids, you know. So we would catch them and tie a piece of thread
Around their
on their leg and just let them fly around. And we had our kites.
Yeah,
Look, man. That was
it June bug kites?
Yeah, that was government housing program entertainment. So we but that's what it was. But you have those. You have the big, but they have some big bees. Those bees look like they hit you one time and you're gonna swell up like an apple.
It's so funny because whenever I see them, it's like I hear you saying, "Let that big joker hear you, baby. It's gonna mess you up."
Yeah, that's some big bees. Them big. So, whatever. So nevertheless, that's where we are with that. But it's done. So my thing is now
It's a good
gonna
feeling.
force me
It's kind
to
of bittersweet because I said even as terrible as they looked and they were partially dead, it still provided us with just a little bit of privacy.
But we have to figure out, because if you plant the trees, we don't plant it there, the problem you're going to run into is whatever pest or whatever is there, it's going to cause, it's going to.
I know. I think those bagworms just attack those kind of trees. I look and see, because think about it, the other trees are fine. Remember?
They probably just hadn't moved there. They like.
Those trees have been there for years, babe.
But I was like the worms. They was all happy with their little place that they were in.
I just think that the worms are, I'm gonna say specific to those cedar trees. I'm gonna Google it and see if the bagworms attack.
It's crazy because they like look. It's almost like, let me say, like campers that just had a little camp thing on their back and they just move into your house whether you like it or not. Camp out on your porch.
They are creepy.
Yeah, they was creepy.
They are creepy.
I wish I knew how they got there because they wasn't here in the beginning.
I think they were. We didn't notice it in the beginning. I just think it took a while, and by the time we noticed it, it was too late, and now it's like too late because it's amazing. In that video of 2020, I was showing the trees. Oh, I was getting ready to point at the trees.
I want my trees back. I'm sitting there looking like.
I was pointing at the trees, and it's like all of the greenery was gone. It was just like little sticks of wood because those bagworms gave those trees the business. It's terrible. It is terrible.
Well, you're right because they ain't touched none of those trees. I mean,
yeah, I think it's just the cedar, those kind of cedar trees. And then if you notice, some of the neighbors' trees look the same way.
Yeah, and they once they get old to them, you can't save them.
No, you can. We could have treated them. Remember, I bought something to treat
No, but it's not going to bring them back.
Well,
the part that's dead.
No, but we could have gotten the rest of it before it was so far gone. But in any event, baby, the trees are gone, so we just have to decide now. I wouldn't even be against, because we don't know what we're going to do with that area. I do know I want to put the weed fabric down to prevent the weeds from growing
up. I'm gonna clean it up.
And then we already have the sheet mulching. What you looking at, babe?
I'm looking at the devil flies.
Oh, you looking like something. But we've already done the sheet. I don't want to hit you because he's gonna. The sheet mulching. What you mean, mosquitoes?
Yeah, I gotta find them so I can.
We've already done the sheet mulching on this side, and we're gonna put that weed fabric over that too, but also down this away. But I would be okay if you're okay with it. Us just getting the bags of mulch and just throwing the bags out there, and we can leave it closed because the weather's gonna be changing.
Weird. That looks weird.
I'm not gonna really be doing anything. You know, I'm focused on the front porch now, and I'm enjoying sitting out there. We'll get back out here probably next spring, unless I do light my fire. We could sit out here some, but until we figure out what to do, you know, with how it gets so wet out here, I'm just gonna be enjoying my front porch.
It's crazy.
Isn't it crazy? It looks. It feels so funny. So that was my way of getting you out here, baby, so you can see. But I had told the family. I had even talked to Stephen about it, and Stephen said, Dad is so oblivious. He's not gonna notice.
I didn't even notice. No, I came here and look.
I can tell when you got. That's why I had the camera on when you came up the driveway. Because I had been talking to the family, and I said, y'all, if he gets out of the truck and doesn't say anything, he didn't notice. But then I didn't know if when you were walking up the driveway, if you were going to look over this way and be like, wait a minute, something different over there. You were too tired, baby. Too tired. Dog tired. Well, all right, you guys. I guess we have to figure out what next. But we appreciate, thank y'all for hanging out with me this morning, and then us this evening as we are sitting out here in the bald-headed backyard.
What was the rabbit?
What rabbit?
There was a little rabbit down there.
What rabbit?
There was a rabbit down behind those trees, because
when?
Every time he would run out here, and then he'd take off and run back in the yard.
We didn't see the rabbit this morning, baby.
Yeah, me and Jackson would I'll let Jackson look at it.
Oh, we didn't see the rabbit this morning.
But he would run over.
But we really do need to figure out what we're going to do next. We'll talk about that and get that figured out. In the meantime, one thing I do know, we both agree we're not planting grass, so we need to put the weed fabric down just to keep the grass.
I'm gonna get probably also like, well, I'm gonna clean it up real good, and then we can put the fabric down.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's why another reason I'm glad that I got so much of it. So I'm excited. We'll see what's next. I don't know when we're gonna get to it. How soon he plans.
It's almost like a house with no curtains. Yeah. Your house don't have no curtains, no blinds, no curtains. People just look straight through your windows. It's so weird.
Because it's been like we've seen those trees, and now it feels so funny.
I grow some new ones.
All right, you guys, you done, babe?
I'm done.
If you enjoyed the video, I guess we're gonna let the mosquitoes have it back here.
Y'all got it.
Please give it a thumbs up. If you've not subscribed, please consider doing so.
Now hit it in the nosy, and that's that notification bell, and that lets you know everything we have going on over on this end. I'll tell you,
You just be trying. You be so eager.
so doggone eager to say my part.
All right. Thank you all so much for watching. We already look forward to you joining us again next time. Bye.